I'm Kat Iniba, and thank you so much for tuning in to Halo Halo, your top entertainment and lifestyle show for Asian Pacific Americans, and the show that aims to spotlight our very own talent. Joining us today is an award-winning filmmaker. She's directed films, written films, and also produced films. A lot of her short films and documentaries have made their way through the film festivals, garnering all of these awards. Her latest project is a feature film, her first, that she's directed, written, and produced. Am I right, Michelle?
Yes, that's right.
Joining us today is Michelle Opitz. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you so much for being here. Now, I mentioned that you're an award-winning filmmaker making your way through various film festivals, right? But this film that we're going to talk about today, Between the Miles, is your first feature film.
It is,
yeah.
yes.
How did you come about creating this film? What inspired you?
So the film's about homeless teens here in Los Angeles, and I was actually teaching at a drop-in center through a nonprofit called Live Arts Group.
Okay.
And I was teaching music video production to homeless and at-risk teens all over LA.
Right.
And the center had shut down, and the kids had been displaced, dispersed, and it was just a big mess. Social workers intervened, and it's a similar plot to the story.
Yeah, it is.
And at the time I was living in Hollywood, which is a hub for homeless teens. Same with Venice. There are a lot of homeless teens there, and I just wondered what I would do if I bumped into my students, or what I would say to them.
Yeah.
And that's when I first started writing the script.
Oh, how long did it take for you to write it?
It took about a year, a lot of rewrites, draft after draft, but it took about a year, and we started production maybe about 3 years ago. So it's been a long process,
Yeah, it has.
a labor of love, I guess.
Yes. Now, some of the students in the film, were they inspired by some of your students? Yeah.
Yes, actually, the actors in the film, some of them started volunteering after the film. So we had shot the film in 18 days here in Los Angeles, and we filmed all over downtown Skid Row, Venice, Hollywood, everywhere. And a lot of the crew members and several of them actually started volunteering afterwards. One of our actresses, Heidi Vogel, she plays the coordinator in the movie. She ended up volunteering at the place where we filmed, which is called School on Wheels.
Wow.
And School on Wheels does it's a nonprofit that provides tutoring for homeless teens.
Oh, wow.
So she ended up becoming their coordinator after the
and
film.
helping out.
Yeah, so
it sounds like a labor of love.
Yeah,
Right? Now, I understand that you also did an Indiegogo campaign for this. Is that what you used to do with your short films that you've done and the documentaries?
So this film was crowdfunded, so we used Indiegogo to raise most of the funds. We had some private donors come in as well, friends, family, strangers, everybody. My previous films, I did a documentary which we crowdfunded also, but many of my shorts were funded by my parents. They're my first producers.
They're your first backers and supporters.
Absolutely.
That's
they
wonderful.
funded most of my short films in college and grad school.
Now, I mentioned that you win awards with the pieces that you direct and write. Do you think there's a pattern or some kind of formula into winning these awards?
I don't know. I don't know. I think story's key. I think once you have an interesting story that's compelling enough to tell, I think that attracts attention and recognition. But I don't know. I haven't figured it out. So
you just know that you're doing really well. What got you started in filmmaking? What was it?
I grew up in Japan, and I was born in Japan, but raised in Japan and Hawaii. I moved back and forth. My father worked for the military, so I was stationed in. We were stationed in Yokosuka Naval Base.
Okay.
But I remember at the time, Akira Kurosawa had passed away that year. I was a teenager, and they were showing a marathon of all his movies back to back to back, and it was just. I remember it had such a profound impact on my life, and I decided I wanted to be a filmmaker. Once I learned you could potentially make a living as a filmmaker, I decided that was what I wanted to do. But Little did I know
that you'd be
there's not
doing it.
much money in the filmmaking.
So
maybe one day.
Yeah, maybe one day, and it's truly something that you love to do, so
Yes.
that's worth it, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Is there a certain genre that you kind of go towards, or is it pretty much everything?
I like a lot of different genres. I'm attracted to drama. Just the story is the most important thing, and whatever that story is what it ends up being. But my next project is in March. I'm doing a zombie comedy.
Ooh.
So I'm excited about that. So it should be fun.
So you've got this huge film that you're promoting, but you're already thinking about stuff in the future, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to.
What were some of the challenges, because this was your first feature film? Were there a lot of challenges doing it? Or?
Absolutely. We're a very small crew, so we had to go around multiple locations all over Los Angeles, and every day there was a new obstacle. And in many places we were filming in areas where there were a lot of homeless people.
Yeah.
So oftentimes we get crowds. We had to learn how to do crowd control and kind of not just invite them in and let them see what we're doing, but be friendly, but at the same time get our work done.
Yeah,
so it was a difficult challenge for sure.
Yeah. There was a special message that you wanted to share through this film. Tell everybody what that message was.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the characters, especially the street teens that are in the film, these are actors, but they're based on my students, the students that I met, and a lot of them were kind of rough around the edges, very tough. Sometimes they were verbally aggressive or violent, and a lot of times we judge people right up front, and sometimes we have these predetermined judgments on the homeless population or the street teens that we see, that they're up to no good. But really, they have a story, and they need a chance, I think, and that's what I hope the film. I hope that message becomes clear to people, and they can see it that way.
For people that want to see the film, is it available right now, or is it in the works?
Almost. I hope so. We just started our film festival submissions.
Yes.
So we're hoping for a good year of film festivals. We just had our cast and crew screening, but hopefully we find a distributor or a sales agent to help us find a home for the film.
Yeah, exactly.
Ideally, we'd like to have it on video on demand or television. And
I would love that.
that would be great. I would love that too.
Yeah.
But to try to get it out to the public so more people can see it and learn about the issues. And
For more info on the film and on you, where can we go?
Our website, betweenthemiles.com. And for me, my website is Michelle-Opitz, O-P-I-T-Z, at .com.
Okay, thank you so much, Michelle, and thank you for telling this story. I'm going to be on your website waiting to see if it's going to be airing at a film festival near, or hopefully video on demand. Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
Again, for more information on Michelle Opitz and her film Between the Miles, make sure to head to the websites that you see on the screen. We'll be back.